Hello from London. It's that time of the month again. It's the time for my update on my Learning Japanese project. I am trying to get on top of basic Japanese during 9 months before my first trip to the country in the autumn. And now 3 months in, so what's been going on? I'll tell you all about the trials and tribulations in a moment, but first of all, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Dr. Gareth Popkins. Here we talk about language learning in all its forms. Methods, my own learning projects, reviews, interviews with inspiring language learners, and blogs and vlogs from language learner events. If you'd like to get my free training on how to take your language learning to the next level, it's webinar training, then you can follow the links underneath this video. So, what's going on with Japanese? Well, I have set myself a goal. I set myself a goal at the beginning of the year to do 30 minutes a day for the next 9 months, basically. So during March, that would come to 15.5 hours in total. Wait for it, the actual total that I managed this month was actually 19 hours and 40 minutes. So yes, I met the total and I kept going. Persistence is so important, isn't it, with language learning, particularly in the early phases, I think. So it's really helping me to have that goal, to try and build up a track record and stick to it. Now that said, in doing a little bit each day is so often solid language learning advice, I only managed to actually study on 21 of the 31 days in March. So some of that total, although better than what I was aiming for, was more concentrated periods when I spent an hour, perhaps several days, working on the language. What were my excuses? Well, I had a heavy week at work, and then I was travelling. I went to Berlin a week ago as well, so I lost a bit of time there. I do find it quite a challenge to keep going with my language learning when I'm on the road. Another thing, a sort of theme I've been thinking about a bit this month with my Japanese is, trade-offs in language learning. So I've been quite good at using downtime, using the Anki flashcard app to reinforce the vocabulary I'm learning, mainly from the main textbook I'm using, Japanese from Zero. But that's been at the cost, and I've been using my commute for that, but it's been at the cost of reading at my advanced level German, for example, which I would have done for maybe half an hour a day during my commute to the office. So it's all about trade-offs in language learning, isn't it, and being realistic in what you can achieve. My aim for the first 3 months actually was to get to the end of Japanese from Zero. I'm going to do 3 books in this 4-book series before the end of September. So therefore, during the first 3 months, I need to have 1 book under my belt. Now the bad news is I didn't quite make it. I managed to get to the end of chapter 11 of 13 by the end of March. And so that's, a bit disappointing, but I was still moving forward, and I covered some really interesting new stuff at a basic level, particular focus in the part of the book I was working on in the last month on numbers, different counting systems in Japanese, dates, and the names of festivals and so on, useful vocabulary, starting to express ideas to do with the past as well, although we haven't started on the verb system in full. By the end of Unit 11 in the book. Another interesting thing was the Compoundhiragana, so the Japanese syllabary, one of the writing systems which was introduced, how they can be combined together to create a consonant and an elided or glide vowel, sort of palatization. So ki becomes kya, and how that's written. So that was another interesting new concept to get my head around with the language. I've noticed that reading these hiragana characters has got a bit easier too. With practice, obviously that again takes time. So I've been pressing on with Japanese from Zero. I was hoping to get the Pimsleur course as well, because that's audio focused, and I set great store really by getting a lot of audio practice initially with my language learning. I joined the local library to get the course, but although they've got the 2nd level course, the 1st level was out and it still hasn't been brought back. So they still haven't contacted me to tell me that it's available. So I haven't been really using that much. And because I've found as I've got further into Japanese from Zero, the chapters have got, it's got slower if anything, as it's got a bit more complicated. I've done less work on a lot less work on the Assimil course, and with the remembering the Kanji, the Heisig book for the Japanese characters, taken from Chinese, than I would have liked. But I've done a certain amount, although quite a minor amount, from those 2 books. And I'm not putting any emphasis on speaking yet. I want to get a good basis actually for this project before I start to speak with teachers online using a platform like iTalk. Now, ideally, I'd be doing maybe 30, 30, 30 with the 3 courses I've just mentioned, Heisig's Kanji, Japanese for Zero, and also the Assimil. That would be an hour and a half a day. And so we're back then to trade-offs. How much of a priority is it for me, and what do I want to do? And at the moment, I am keeping it to about 30 minutes on average, so that I've just got to accept is not going to happen. So, while I'll be dipping into Heisig's Remembering the Kanji and to the Assimil course and the Pinsleur if I can get it during the next month, my main goal is to press on with Japanese from zero. First of all, obviously to finish book 1. I've got book 2 on order. It's been delivered at the office. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. And my aim for the rest of April then is to cover chapters 1 to 4 in book 2 of Remembering the Kanji. Now that's quite a challenge because it's going to mean more than 1 chapter a week. But I'll endeavour to try and catch up on some of the lost time then in the coming month. So that's what's going on in my Japanese learning so far. What about you? Are you a beginning Japanese learner? What materials are you using? Are there particular surprises or challenges you've found? If you're a more advanced Japanese learner, are there any comments you'd want to share on what I'm doing or to help other people? Well, let us know in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for the vibe, throw me a thumbs up, tickle that bell and share the affair. それじゃまた。